So, Lithuania. They've taken part in Eurovision many times since 1994. Their debut back in 94, they finished last place. But in 2006, their luck changed. They came sixth, which is their highest placing so far with, was it LT United? Was it LT United with We
LT.
Are the Winners? That's right. I should know. I was actually there. I should remember, shouldn't I? In the past 10 years, however, Lithuania have made it to the final 6 occasions. And Donny Montel has been their most successful placing of recent times back in 2016. This year, however, they are represented by the Roop. The Roop are a successful pop and rock band from Vilnius in Lithuania. But before we get to hear a little bit about the Roop, shall we listen to some of the more successful entries from Lithuania over the past? Shall we, guys? Shall we do that? Let's do it.
Absolutely.
The winners of Eurovision. We are. And we see your smile and your beautiful eyes. I get lost in time. Now I know better. I've been waiting for this night. And we're out.
That still gives me chills now, you know. That's such a beautiful song. I was very fortunate to be in Lisbon and watch that live, and I was kind of convinced she might have done it actually, but in the end she didn't quite nail it. But it was a fantastic song and so meaningful in so many ways. The Roop, this year's entrance. So currently favourites to win the whole thing. They have released 2 albums, very successful in Lithuania. And they have tried to take part for Lithuania in the past. They came 3rd place in 2018. On Fire is their hit for Eurovision. It's already a cult classic, as many, many fans, including those that like a boogie on a Saturday night. Yeah, so I think it's only fair that we have a little listen to the Roop. Should we have a listen?
Yes.
Let's do it.
The world is my desire. I feel that I'm on fire.
There you go. So yeah, the Roop are a pop band formed even in 2014. Let's find out what the panel think of this and whether it gives Lithuania a chance to win their first ever Eurovision. Nicholas, what do you make of this?
Yeah, at first, it's weird because like at first when I heard the songs, and I think it could possibly be because I had other favorites in the Lithuanian final. When I first heard it, I didn't really think too much of it. I thought it was all right, but I also felt it was very inoffensive. Like it had a funky melody, a fun little dance, but that was just kind of it. And then I saw it like climbing the charts, and at this point it is still like they're on #1 on my Eurovision scoreboard, I believe. And I do wonder a bit because I don't think the song is that special. I think it's good. I definitely don't think it's bad. I think it's actually quite good, and I think the dance is funny. It's easy to do, but the thing that just like wrecks my mind is that why is this so like so high up? Because it is so, like, in my opinion, so inoffensive, and I feel like to be a Eurovision winner, you have to be one of those songs where you either love it or you hate it, and I feel like this song is just very. I don't know how to say it, because like I don't want to use the words like it's middle of the road, because then it just sounds like I don't like it, which is not the case. But there are just other songs this year that are much more interesting, have some sort of identity to it, and I think that's like mainly what I'm missing from this song. I feel like it lacks that identity, because on one end it's actually trying to convey a message of like, you know, not being too old to do things. But then you have this like dance that takes away from the message. So it's like, should you listen to the message, or is it just a fun dance song? I don't know. I'm very conflicted about this one, as you can hear.
Yeah, okay. Not every song's for everyone, and that's why we all have different tops, isn't it? I just to point out what's on screen. I'd just like to say thanks to Elliot Harris, who you may recognise as sometimes host, often guest panellist on the show. He's produced some of the banners for tonight. Thank you, Elliot, because there is no chance I'm going to try and pronounce all those names. Not a chance in hell. It is never going to happen. Not in a million years. Gemma.
Can try.
Yeah, you could try. I'm not going to bother. Gemma, Lithuania. How is it sitting for you?
This is an interesting one. So someone showed me this song back in January, and I was like, and they were saying, they want this to win, and I was like, really? Like, I wasn't sure, and then it won, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, Lithuania, well done. And then I think it's more of a grower song. Like when you first see it, you're a bit confused, and you first hear it, and you can't quite figure out if it is the pop or if it's the rock. But like now, I love it. Now it's great. The whole like on fire bit just gets me going. But like there's all these comparisons with Iceland. We've got the funky song, we've got the cool dance moves. And I think the thing that lacks that Iceland has is that Lithuania doesn't have that instant warm and fuzzy feeling. It like, I've showed it to people in the past, and every time they see Lithuania, they're like, ooh, and then they get into it. As soon as you show Iceland, everyone's straight into it. So I feel that may be an issue. Whether they're going to have to switch up their staging or I don't know, but it's just missing something. Still a really, really great song though.
Would this be a really cool opener for Eurovision for the first semi-final? David, what do you think about that?
I think yes. I think she can be a very cool opener. Yes, it's really interesting because it's this song kind of new out of nowhere because it's a bit different. You never see like this type of funky songs much often in Eurovision than like ballads, pop, even rock ballads. It's I think can be a good opener, can be a good closer. It's a crowd pleaser because as a geography is a true crowd pleaser. I don't know if we have Eurovision. You have the fact you have a jury, and juries can love it, can hate it. It's all day spectrum. I think they can, if the staging is got right, I think they will get very through.
Thank you, David. Tristan, you've been championing the Lithuanian selection throughout. In fact, we know you. Not only are you our stats man, you are our ever awake man, because you spent most of the first 3 months of this year staying awake through God's only hours, so you could watch every national final throughout that night, so no one would spoil the results for you. How are Lithuania going to do this year?
They're definitely going to do well. I mean, it's a really fun song. Hopefully, they'll get a kind position in the. They won't be on second place or whatever. They'll get a fair crack at the whip. They're definitely going to go through. This is one of the few times when my favourite has actually gone on to win the national final, which I'm really happy about. In my top 5. Well, it was number 1 for a long time for me, but now it's dropped it down to 5th place. I haven't heard, obviously, Russia yet, but we'll have to wait and see whether that will knock it out in 5th place. It may well do. But I absolutely love it.
Nice segue into Russia. Stay tuned, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central European time. We will be reviewing the Russian song. Can't wait for that one. Yerna, Lithuania. Where is Lithuania currently in your Eurovision top? What is it?
Well,
42, is it? How many songs this year? Is it
No.
42?
41.
41.
Yes. I'm gonna check because I don't know by heart, but it's in my 8th position.
There you go. 8th.
It was higher, but yeah, new songs come out, But from the first time I heard the Lithuanian song, I was like, not liking it at the beginning. But then I listened to it a second time, and I was like, oh my god, this is a really good song. And, I really liked the part where he dances the instrumental part is really fun. And I think, personally, it will be their best result ever for Lithuania. I really hope they can get into the top 3. And I'm torn between a victory for Lithuania or Iceland. I don't know. But I think, personally, it'll be the best entry for Lithuania to date. And I really hope they do well.
So if they're gonna have their best ever entry, they're gonna get in the top 5, basically,
Yes,
and
yes.
and that's what everyone's predicting. You know, they're top of the leaderboard for that particular reason. Everyone thinks they're gonna have a great Eurovision. Oben, we know Cyprus are gonna win Eurovision. I'll just put that out there now because you say it every year. Can Lithuania win Eurovision? Oh
No,
my
I'm kidding.
God.
I'm here. No, I'm here. I'm kidding. I got you there. So,
Well
For
played.
God's
Lithuania.
sake, do not do that to me. That would be a hat trick.
Without mentioning that how successful Cyprus will be this year. Let's not mention that first for a second. So I listened to Lithuania and I immediately fell in love. And then once the song was over, I was like, oh, people are going to make fun of me. Oh my God, I don't want to go ESC Fan TV ever again because people will make fun of me because I like this silly song, very stupid song. But it's just I loved it. I really felt it. It's just, I felt the mood, I felt the vibe, I felt everything. And I went and see it, and it's like, what the F is that? Everybody is thinking the same way I do, and everybody's feeling the embarrassment that I do. So I don't think I don't think Lithuania will win this year because I don't think it's a jury-friendly song. Let's face it. But I think it's a crowd pleaser. I think people will get behind it. The Eurovision village, the venue, the Euro clubs, Euro cafes, all the Eurovision parties from now on. This song is gonna be the first 10 and the last 10 songs amongst the first and the last 10 songs of a Eurovision party. I think this is a Eurovision anthem, like We Are the Winners of Eurovision from Lithuania. But I know that if I can spare one vote out of my 20 votes that I'm not gonna send to Cyprus, it can be Lithuania.
Ooh, well, I think Lithuania were at certain top 10 this year. There's no question will they qualify. Does anyone actually think they won't qualify? Just to check that.
No, they definitely will.
No,
They will.
David, you can't see him. He's not off screen at the moment, but he's also shaking his head. So I don't think anybody doesn't think that Lithuania won't qualify. Okay, where do we think Lithuania roughly come in? Do we think they come in? Let's go sort of bottom to 20, 19 to 10, and then 10 to 5, and then a top 5. What do we reckon? Let's start with Yerna.
Oh,
You think top 5? Gemma?
10 to 5.
10 to 5. Tristan?
Top 5, definitely.
Top 5. I'm going to go top 5 as well. Open?
I'm gonna be very specific, relying on my gambling background, and I'm gonna say number 4, precisely.
Are you going to be precise? And David's holding up some paper, which says between 5th and 10th position. So, do you want to be more specific, David? You're going to pick a number.
Around maybe I think it's more likely to be in the middle, 7th.
7. You're going to go lucky number 7. Finally, Nicholas.
Yeah, I think a top 10 is possible. I don't think I can get it more specific than that, but the top 10 should be possible, you know, just for the fan vote alone.
Yeah. Well, everyone seems to think they can win it at the moment, so let's see if they can. Everyone is saying a top 10 mostly, and maybe top 5s as well. So there you go. Lithuania look like they have their best ever Eurovision.